One more lesson on the fundamentals, and we'll be getting into the stuff that's specific to the course. This lesson goes over the procedure of compiling and running a program. Now, this lesson is taught specifically for the command line version of Java, so if you're using an IDE, you'll want to check its documentation to see how to compile the program. The program we're going to write and compile is very simple. It's nothing more than a class that contains a main method, and the main method does nothing more than display a simple line of text. This is the traditional Hello World program that's used everywhere to demonstrate the fundamental mechanics required to get started in a new language. If you're familiar with Java, you've probably seen this before. If you're brand new to Java, you may see some things here that you don't quite understand, but they'll be explained as time goes along. If you're using an IDE, you won't create a working directory the way I'm going to do here, and you will need to follow the IDE's instructions for that sort of thing, and for writing the program, and for compiling it. You will need to create a working directory. You can call it what you like and put it anywhere you want. I'm just going to create a Java working directory named jwork and make it the current directory. You can use any text editor you want to create the program. My favorite editor is named VI, so I'll create the source code of the new program this way. Now, it's important that the source file have the suffix .java because that suffix has meaning to the Java compiler. The first line of the program looks like this. This is a class named Hello World. It's being declared as public. That is, the class is going to be accessible from outside. Notice that the class has the same name as the file. This is important. All public classes must be stored in a file with the same name as the class itself. Now, this may seem a little odd or restrictive right now, but there's a very good reason for it. It makes things very easy to work with in larger systems with several classes. Every class that can be run as a program has a method that's declared just like this. It's public, so it can be addressed from outside. It's static, so it exists before an object of the class has been created. It is void, which means it doesn't return any value to its caller. And it's named main, because that's the name that's looked for to start a program running. And it has an array of string objects as the argument passed to it. This is the array of string objects that contains the stuff that was included on the command line when you started the program running. The system class contains a static object named out. The object named out has a method named println for print line. It displays strings to the screen. This brace closes the main method, and this brace closes the class. The file is written to disk and the editor is closed. We now have a source file ready to compile, which can be done using the Java compiler this way. The program JAVAC is the Java compiler. Notice that it requires the full name with the Java suffix. If everything goes right and you don't get any warnings or error messages, you should get a class file named after this class. You can then run the Java virtual machine to execute the program like this. This time you don't specify the full name, just use the name of the class, and the Java virtual machine will look for a class file by that name and then look in that class file for the main method. If it finds it, it'll run it. and that's it. That's how every Java program is compiled and executed. Some programs consist of more than one class file, and we'll be doing some of that, but the procedure is fundamentally the same for every Java program.